Good evening. It is September 25th. It is 8 o'clock. I'm going to apologize for the late um, forecast. I went down hard with a migraine today, and it has been just miserable. I got my migraine medicine, and I feel less like I've been drugged through a knothole backwards. So, anyway, on to the forecast. We have the potential of getting some stuff overnight. May come in slower than expected. We may get a tickle from what we thought was coming days ago, could come in tonight. They are not real clear on their forecasting right now, and it's just because there's so much moving in so many different directions at so many different speeds that they cannot be very clear. Nobody can, not even me. And I would say we have a potential of ticking up for a very short period of time. Sometime tonight, it may go up. We do have partly clear skies tonight that will eventually clear through the early morning hours. It will get clearer. If we do see an uptick, it is worth going out to check your area to see if you have holes in those clouds. Clouds does not mean you definitely aren't going to see anything, especially tonight. These clouds are broken and hit and miss, and sometimes clouds give us the best kind of aurora pictures because they add texture into the images we get, and they're beautiful. So definitely try if you get numbers going up. Right now, the app numbers are all arguing. I've got some places saying a 2, some places saying a 1, some are saying closer to a 3. It's just not all right on target right now. At some point, it may go up to a 4 or a 5 briefly. We are expected to see a 4 incoming. They're saying it's going to hit in the daytime hours throughout tomorrow afternoon. That could come in early. They could be wrong. That was moving faster than the other storms prior to it. Could come in early, could come in much later than we expect and happen tomorrow night. Then we have a quiet day on the 27th. I'm hesitant on this one. I'm not going to quite agree with that one just because of what we saw yesterday, and I'm going to explain this one up. All right. Oh, shoot. Hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm going to look at the Lascaux feed, and we're going to run through this. And I want you to look when this storm pops off over here on the 24th. We've got a good amount here. This is what we're getting last night into today. We had a good push. Now see here, we're starting to get that escalation right there. That is happening early on the, well, that one says we're at 23rd. 24th. This is happening early on the 24th. You see the gradual brightening that's happening right here. Now this is long duration. It is going out the outcoming limb, and most of this will not hit us. But as I move this forward right here, I want you to watch. Gets bigger, gets bigger, gets bigger, gets bigger, gets bigger. We're at 7. Starts to get really big. Oh. Here it comes. Here's our, we're at 9 UTC time. There's an eruption. There's the flare. 10:42. There is the flare. It took out the satellite feed. Massive, massive flare. Now, right here is the blast. I want to pause this. If I can get it paused, I'm going to run this backwards so I can get this paused. If I can get it to pause right. They're saying this is a 90. It was only 90 degrees. I'm saying this is closer to a 180. We have stuff coming all the way around the disk, not the main eruption. This part of the dens is a 90, and it probably will miss us. Okay, so the main bulk of the plasma will miss us, but it is pushing this right here, and it is pushing down here out. So there is something coming with it. There was more than one blast right there. And as it comes out, and I push this forward, you can see it's moving. And especially if you look over here in the blue Lascaux, you can see right here, it's bending this backwards. So it's moving more of a 180 than a 90. And this may give us activity on the 27th that we're not expecting. So the 27th into the 28th, it might uptick us where they're not expecting us to. It could hit any time during the 27th. This is going 1500 hours. I would err and say we're going to get that in the evening on the 27th going into the 28th. But we could get stuff all day the 27th because this starts very early. Now here's a secondary eruption from, okay, so you have 43 going off, then you have 41. And remember, 41 is trailing backwards a little bit. So if we were to go look at, hang on just a second. We're going to pull up the map here. Pull up our sunspot regions. Yesterday, 41 was sitting over here where 38 is. And 43 was right here. 41 was sitting over here. So you had them sitting in this region. So they weren't completely around the disk. They were capable, if the trajectory of the explosion went sideways, of giving us more of a tickle. This may not hit us, but look at how this is moving out. It does come almost center disk at part of this. You can see it moving. Yes, the blast itself is going out this way. But there's a tail of it that's wrapping around and rippling back. And that's what's going to hit us. You can see it. There's a blast zone right there that's coming around. And that will impact us to some degree, I think you're going to find. Now, here it goes. Here, again, your main blast is going out away from us. The main part of the storm is going to miss us. But we have full halo impact. It is picking stuff all the way up around the disk. Is it going to be huge? No. It will not be monstrous, but it is enough to get us off the basement floor. You can see here that this is moving out in a blast pattern, and it is aimed at Earth. Here we go again, a small blast pattern here. That is almost the 25th. So this would be almost into the 28th, maybe the evening of the 28th, maybe the evening of the 27th, right in here. We've got a secondary, but another blast coming in, and it's all the way around here. It's going to impact us. I think they're off on that unless it's the wrong polarity. There again, here comes another small C explosion. These are not going to be huge. They are not going to be KP6, KP9, whatever. They should get us up to a KP3. And you can see things with a camera at KP3. This is where I'm calling into doubt. Yeah, you can see things moving out here. I'm seeing things here moving. You can see it. There's a whopping big bunch of something right there coming right at Earth. You can see it move. And here we have another straight halo hit. This is a full-on halo hit. Look at that. Straight out at the sun, straight out at Earth, straight out at Earth. That is all the way around the disk. That is a full halo hit. Don't know how they're not calling these full halos, but they're probably just not grading them because they're very small. But here's the thing with these small ones, and I want you to be aware of it. These small ones can stack up and give us a scoop shovel. Even if they're barely a 3, if they all stack on top of each other, they can bump us up to a 4. Sometimes they can even bump us up to a 5 if they're really dense. And some of these are really dense. Where did he go? He's right here somewhere. I saw him. I saw him. He was right here. Right there he is. This is really dark plasma. This is a lot. All these little dark areas and white areas, that's a lot of plasma moving. That's not nothing. This is enough that if it catches up with another storm, could peek us out into something. Just want you to look at these kinds of things and say, okay, well, maybe that's something. There's a potential they could be wrong. And the fact that we have a number of these that are stacking up on each other and they're all showing full halos. Look at this. This is not nothing. This has got halo all the way around. There's something all the way around. I look for at least a KP3 out of this. I would look for a KP3. Maybe a low 2, or a high 2, but I would look for it to be up there. Looking at our sun right here, we have a roping filament developing. This is, if you watch this area, watch it develop. There is something magnetically developing right here. And it's not quite formed, and here it's starting to form up into a roping filament that is magnetically connected between here and back here. So you watch it, there's popping, there's moving, there's something magnetically connecting. This is 40, this is 35. So it kind of runs through 35, 40, and connects. So I'm going to pause this. Going to run this to the end so we can look at the structure at the end. Oh, it is being a beast. Got lots of flaring going on from our active sunspots. Not quite quick enough to catch it there at the end where I want it. Give me just a second to get it there. Okay. Going to try and ease this forward a little bit without it going backwards. This is being a bugger tonight. I want it right here. All right, fine. Put it there. This thing is not being cooperative tonight. Okay. This is being a real pain. This is not functioning the way it should tonight. Okay. Best I can do here. Okay, we have 3543 over here. We have 3541. Here is 35, 35, or 40, 3435 and 3438. We have 3445 down here, 3540. And this is now Earth facing. This is a little bit farther over. We have a magnetic connection right here running between 45 and 35. We have a roping filament running around here to 4335. We have some filaments running between 35 and 41. Now, what is formed up tonight is there's this magnetic connection between 35 and 40, but there's also this huge monster filament that's forming between 35 and the new sunspot that's just coming around the limb. And that one is an alpha class. It hasn't really, it has dissipated some from what it was on the other side of the sun, and it's taking a break, but now these are all magnetically connected. They're all feeding into 35. Everything is connecting into spot and connecting into 34, 35. When this clicks into, in the overnight hours, into the active zone, I think these two, which are beta delta, will start feeding each other. And remember, this is beta gamma, beta delta, beta delta. And they'll all be in the active Earth strike zone. They may decide to uptick, and that's what's going to deliver anything coming on the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. Any of these big roping filaments, there's a filament here, there's filaments here, there is a roping filament that's going down this way, there's one wrapping this way, there's all these filaments in and around the spot. These are lifting way up off the sun and very eruptive. These are lifting off the sun, very eruptive. This could go. This one, I look for it when this kicks into high gear to go. We have stuff wrapping around this way that could go. And very complex patterns here. What is really going to give us the big storm is if one of these big roping magnetic field lines, these filaments, pops off. Flares don't do much. They'll give us a little bit of light, little bit of radiation, and a little bit of wind, but they're really not going to do much. That's why we're not getting anything big, because flares don't do it. CMEs are what really do it. And so far, the CMEs have been limited in what they're tossing out. What we need is one of these big magnetic field lines to erupt. And that is what will give us a monster storm. So we are watching these magnetic field lines. The bigger the magnetic field line that lets go, the bigger the storm we're going to have. Because the more plasma it has, the bigger the storm it will be. And I look for this to start percolating here in the next 24 hours. And that's where I would look for our future. Looking into our smoke and whether right now we're really in this, getting this touch of this cloudy pattern right here that's moving over us. This is going to move out and over the north. All these little spots are fires. We have a lot of fires going on. If they're green, they're gasoline fires of some kind. They're considered gas fires. The more red the dot, the more intensive the radiative power of that fire is. So if you get up here and this is a really red fire, we have some really red fires here. Those are kicking out a lot of intense heat. And those are the big fires. And this is measuring different bands. There's an I band and an M band here for power of fire. And these are, like I said, the darker the orange and the red, the bigger the fire is. And we can see that a lot of the smoke is getting whirled out here away from us. So we probably have a little bit less smoke. But right now they're doing an analysis on our smoke map and I cannot pull it up. We do have a system. That system is going to ride through on Tuesday. We look for rain Tuesday into Tuesday night. And it will eventually clear up early morning, start clearing. By Wednesday night, we're going to have partly cloudy skies. Thursday is partly cloudy skies on the 28th. And then we should have mostly clear skies through the weekend here in Michigan. Let me look over in Wisconsin. Door County, Wisconsin. There we go. Door County, Wisconsin. You guys are going to be cloudy on Tuesday, rainy in the evening. Pretty much like Michigan, clearing out Wednesday night. Mostly clear skies by Thursday, and then clear through the weekend. Not expected to have any rain or significant clouds until next Wednesday. So we do have a good forecast weather-wise for next weekend. We have the potential. We have big sunspots coming that have the potential of giving us a major solar storm. They're all in the right position now, all right in the active zone. They are capable of kicking stuff out that will reach us in a few days. So now is the time. We want to pray for a moderately good storm, but not the kill shot. And please word this carefully. Be careful what you ask for. We want a moderately good storm, but not a kill shot. We don't want to see power grids go down. We don't want to lose our cell phones. We don't want to lose satellites. We don't want to end up in a mess. We just want a moderately good aurora storm that we can enjoy. So I will leave you there, and we can look forward to that. All right, everybody have a good evening. If numbers pop tonight, definitely go out and look, because you never know if you got holes in the clouds. It's that fall season, and holes are going to be patchy. In the storms are patchy. You can always get some interesting cloud patterns this time of year with the aurora shining through them.